Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Dog Groomers 2026 Reset, episode 3. This is a 4-part private podcast for dog groomers who refuse to repeat another year of undercharging, burnout, and uncertainty. My name is Karen Fisher, and I run a membership called the Grooming Business Academy. And I am here today with episode 3. Now, in the past 2 episodes, we have discussed habits to leave behind in our dog grooming businesses with regards to first mindset in episode 1 and also how we look at our pricing and our finances in episode 2. If you haven't listened to those, please go back and listen to them. They are worth listening to. But what I want to move on to today is marketing. Now, before you literally press stop because you're like, I don't need marketing, I've got more customers than I could possibly want. In fact, Karen, I want to get rid of some customers in 2026, not attract more of them. I completely get you. So please don't worry. Everything I'm about to say is going to be for you guys as well as those who want to attract more customers. I want you to imagine marketing as kind of like a tree, and only one of the branches of that tree is advertising, i.e. wanting more customers. There are so many more branches of that tree. There is nurturing customers, educating customers, showing customers our brand, our behind the scenes, who we are. There are so many parts of marketing, and it's really important to kind of cover all the branches, not just advertising, because what they will do is it's not just about attracting more customers, it's about telling the customers we have how freaking amazing we are, all the things we know, the kind of vibe we have in the salon, why we chose to become dog groomers. We can do educational kind of marketing to show even little tips like how to reduce tear staining, tips how to brush dogs. And there's a little bit of a disclaimer here. I know so many of us in that industry do these things already, but there's sometimes a vibe that kind of gets transmitted almost subconsciously of resentment at times, like please do this for your dog, please do that, or how can you not be doing this, or there's a slight vibe of resentment and frustration at times in the dog grooming industry when it comes to marketing. And that's kind of what I want to discuss today, because I want to say, first of all, I get it. I have been a dog groomer for 16 years. The frustration, the resentment, I have felt it to the core of my soul. Believe me, I have cried shaving off matted dogs. I have banged my head against a wall with dogs that have recurring ear infections, yet the owner rocks up in a brand new Range Rover. Believe me, ladies, gentlemen listening to this, I get it when you get frustrated and resentful of your clients. I get it when they don't show up on time. I get it when they're late or they cancel at last minute. I do get the frustration. I do get the resentment. That is the dog groomer side of me. Completely understand it. And I want to tell you a tale in a few minutes about how I kind of showed that back in 2015 when I really was on the verge of a breakdown, verge of burnout in my business. But we can't let that resentment, we can't let that frustration come through in our marketing. And it is so easily done. It's kind of why marketing is linked to your mindset, because if you have a positive mindset, you will try and transmit the good and not the resentment. And it is really hard to kind of get around that. So what I want to touch on today is marketing to our owners is really linked to the respect they have for us and the way they treat us and our business. And sometimes the reason we have lots of disrespect in our industry and we're not respected, we are kind of viewed as not professional or not worthy of giving enough notice for cancellations or not worthy of the prices that we know we are. That is because often we don't market ourselves to our full advantage. And that is something I want to try and help you leave behind in 2025 and think about how you could do it more professionally, more effectively in 2026. So let's get going. With regard to social media, I want you to see your marketing as kind of what they call in the online world as a funnel, which means think of the funnels we use for mixing shampoo. We've got the mixing bottles and we pour the shampoo in, wider at the top, narrow at the bottom. Social media is the wide bit at the top. It's because it's where people see us most. It's where we are seen by not just people local to us, but people all over the world, people that own dogs, don't own dogs, lots of customers, but lots of non-potential customers. In fact, if we're being brutally honest, the weight is probably more with the non-customers than it is the potential local dog owners that have the potential to come through your door and give you money. That's why social media, although it is a great marketing tool, it is not the only one you need to have in your toolbox. It is great for exposure. It is great for getting your name out there. It is great for, if you have owners following you, to show them what you're up to show them behind the scenes, to educate them, like I was saying before. It is a great place to showcase all of that. But we must never, ever, ever forget that not everyone on social media is our customer, and not all of our customers are on social media. So it is a very kind of spaghetti against the wall way of communicating with clients, because not everyone we want to see what we're putting out there is going to see it. That's why I sometimes I cringe a bit when I see groomers putting out price increase notices or policies on their social media, like with a lovely Canva slide that they've created or a screenshot. It's really pointless. I'm so sorry, it really is, because half your customers aren't going to see that. And I guarantee the one that you know in your head you're aiming at, the one that was late yesterday, now you're kind of putting it out there because you've had too much, they're not going to see it. And if they did, they're not going to respect it. And also, to everyone else who is perhaps a potential customer or watching from the sidelines, it's a bit cringe. It's kind of showing your frustration. It's not where your policy should be. If we want policies to be respected, if we want price increases to be transmitted properly, social media is definitely not the place to put them when they're alongside funny cat videos and memes and GIFs and whatever else there is. It's not the place. It's not respectful. It's not professional. We wonder why we don't get professional respect. Unfortunately, that's probably one of, kind of not a great way. Well, let me explain this. It's one of the reasons why, because we're not communicating in a professional manner. Things like policies, things like price increases, things like information you need all your customers to know. That's where email comes into play. Or if you are really resistant against email, that is where printing it out and handing it over in the salon comes to play, or face-to-face conversation. It is not social media communication. I know it's easier on social media. I completely get it. You press send, you hide behind a phone screen, you don't care. But there are many, many reasons why it is not professional to put it on social media. Not if you want things to be respected. So if we think about going lower down in our funnel, we have things like websites and Google listings. These are where you own your own space. So you don't own your social media. Your social media can get shut down tomorrow. And I see groomers almost every week that say their page has been closed or shut down, or they've been shadow banned, or whatever it is. It's because we don't own our own space on social media. And the algorithm kind of dictates who sees what we're putting out there. It is a really erratic and unreliable form of communication. See it as the front page of your newspaper. You can market, you can advertise, keep it upbeat, keep it punchy, keep it all positive. But then give them a reason to look further. Give them a reason to look further into your business. Because in 2025, 2026, we really are in a bit of a trust recession, aren't we? We're very untrusting nowadays. And it's kind of understandable. The amount of captions that you can see have literally been written by ChatGPT, or the images that have been edited, or the anonymous posters, the anonymous reviews, the anonymous this and that. It is so hard to trust people. It is so hard to invest in people and to think, do I want to use them for their service? So having just a social media presence really isn't going to cut it anymore. It might have done 5-10 years ago. It really might. But times have changed so rapidly, especially in the past 24 months. A social media presence alone really isn't enough. I'm so sorry. It's just not. So if that is what you only have in 2025, may I suggest for 2026, getting your own static presence online, i.e., a Google business listing that is completely free, which is great. Give yourself 2 or 3 hours to set it up, because it is a bit of a learning journey to get one on there. Put some pictures on there. Remember to update it at least once a month so it stays present and Google recognises it as a kind of active business. And you can put all your opening hours on there. You can put announcements on there. Obviously, it's not going to get looked at as much as social media, but the people who do look at it even, they are more likely to be potential clients. Whereas those looking at your social media, it could be anybody. Same goes for a website. Obviously, websites do cost money, But trust me, it is a business investment. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to spend money on your business the same way you spend money on your scissors. It is a website, and again, that is sort of a place you own, a place that is not algorithm dependent, a place where people can come to you after they've found you on social media or got recommendations from friends, and all your information is there for people to read all the time. It is not dependent on if they were on social media yesterday. It is not dependent on the algorithm, because even if you posted about yourself 2 weeks ago on social media, unless you pinned that post, no one's seen it in the last 2 weeks apart from the day it came out. So somebody new to your business isn't going to see that post. You have an about me page on your website, great. All day long you're showing who you are, why you set up that business. So that is the next layer of your funnel going down, because we need to go deeper than just social media. It isn't enough. Also, with regard to the expenditure of a website, and you're like, oh, well, I don't need one. My friend set up with just a Facebook page and she was fine. Okay, are you getting the respect you want from your clients? If you're not, do you perhaps think it's because your business isn't being portrayed as a professional affair? I don't want to sound judgy here, but yeah, a few years ago, people could set up on the Facebook page only. They could get a business. It's not a problem. But I guarantee you, they still think their clients walk all over them at times, because it's not what professional businesses do. A professional business invests in business expenses the same way they invest in equipment expenses. We have no problems at all in our industry buying electric tables, buying scissors, buying blasters, dryers, slicker brushes. But yet I ask people to buy a card machine or invest in software or get a laptop or a website, and they raise their eyebrows and they're very reluctant to spend that. But yet we know, to be a professional dog groomer, we can't use a dining room table and a pair of kitchen scissors. The same goes for a professional business. You need more than just a Facebook page. You need the hallmarks of a professional business, such as a website, ideally such as a card machine and software. And if we're not getting the respect we want from clients, it all kind of leads back to that. How professionally are we portraying our business? I often use this analogy, and you might have heard it before, probably have, of like nurseries. If I was going to put my child in a daycare nursery, I mean, they're older than that now, but I would look at one that had a website, paperwork, procedures, somewhere official, somewhere I knew my child was safe. I'd also look at one that was probably expensive if I could, if I could afford it, because it would imply to me that we're giving a good quality of care. If the only place a nursery advertised was on the kind of swings at the park, and all they had was a Facebook page, no, you're not looking after my child. I don't trust you, because anyone can set up a Facebook page in half an hour and print out some leaflets on Canva. You haven't invested in your business professionally. You have shown no commitment to investing in that business. Why should I give you my service? Why on earth should you look after my child? And again, with owners, because we are in this trust recession, why on earth would they give us their precious dogs to look after if we're not showing we're investing in our business, if we're not showing we're a professional, trustworthy affair? So when you're scared of kind of giving out T's and C's or having a website or coming across as being like, oh, I'm a bit professional, aren't I? That's not a bad thing. It's okay. It's a great thing. It's attractive to the right kind of people. The people that want to walk all over you, yeah, all they need is a Facebook page. They'll come to you. They'll expect cheap prices and they'll treat you like a doormat. But then we wonder why we're burnt out and frustrated and resentful. It's because we need to respect ourselves if we want respect from others. So ladies, if you feel like your business could be kind of better portrayed next year, that is what I am urging you to do. Look at your marketing, look at your funnel. This isn't just for those that need new customers. This is for those that have a full book of customers, but you still get customers that kind of don't respect your time, don't respect your policies. You feel a little bit underappreciated. One of the best things you can do is get all those professional hallmarks of your business in place. Start portraying yourself as a business that takes itself seriously. And this links back to my previous 2 episodes even, because with regard to your mindset, I cannot tell you how much kind of more professional you will feel, more worthy you will feel, more kick-ass boss girl you will feel with having a business that is proper. It's got all the things, it's got all the hallmarks for business. you probably feel like you're not a professional because you haven't got some of those things at times. So it isn't just about investing money and buying software, websites, laptops. It's also about investing in yourself and knowing I am worth this, my business is worth this, because I want that kind of respect. And again, it links back to the pricing episode, because people are going to expect higher prices from that kind of affair. Especially, we often forget many of our owners have used groomers before us, whether with the same dog they've got now or previous dogs. They've used other groomers, and we all know full well that these things aren't always done by other groomers. So do you know how impressive you will be if you come across and go, right, yeah, my software's here. If you want to book through this, then I'll send you the welcome paperwork, or all of these things, and have professional systems, professional paperwork, a professional way of attracting them, a professional website. All of these things are with regard to your marketing. And yes, it does kind of then go into systems and customer care, but that's the academy. I won't go into that. But it all comes together, and then your prices that might scare you when you calculate how much you really need for financial independence, they make so much more sense to not only you, but your customers. They're like, yep, she's worth that all day long. They might be happy paying £35 for a Shih Tzu at that girl that's just got a Facebook page, but when you're saying your Shih Tzus are 62, they're like, well, I'm not surprised, because it's a proper business, this one, isn't it? She takes cards, and I don't care if you work in a shed, it's fine, not a problem. You can still run a very professional affair from your garden shed, because what you're not giving in kind of high street salon chrome and black leather vibes, you're giving with the fact that you have a professional way of attracting clients, keeping clients, communicating with clients. All of these things, it all comes together to give a professional, cohesive image of a business that takes itself seriously and therefore is worth kind of paying big bucks for. So that is marketing. And I wanted to touch on it because I think I haven't really touched on kind of how it affects the way we get respect from clients, and how many groomers think marketing is just about getting more customers, which I know lots of groomers don't need. Some of you do, some of you are brand new groomers or you've increased your hours, fantastic. Marketing will also help with that. But marketing has so many more branches than advertising, and a lot of it comes down to us portraying ourselves as professional. Also, the things we put out there, like I said before, in fact, I was going to tell you a story, wasn't I, about me? The things I said before about how we kind of have to hide that resentment and frustration, because it will undermine our authority, it will undermine our professionalism. So yeah, the story I was going to mention was in 2015, I was kind of at the peak of my resentment and frustration, shall we say, of my business. And I put out one of these posts, and it was about kind of my price increases and how the shampoos have gone up, but how I've studied this and I've worked this hard and done this. And it was a little bit whingy, a little bit whiny, a little bit, oh, woe is me. And sure enough, yes, groomers liked it because I was like speaking for the girls, as I still do. But bearing in mind this was a post aimed at customers, it screamed. When I look back, it screamed the fact that I was on the verge of burnout. I really resented everybody and everything, and it was my own fault. I got myself there. I was probably undercharging at the time. My boundaries were very low. I was a bit of a doormat, and I wasn't really professionally marketing myself. And then I wonder where customers walk all over me, and then I post a resentful post. Yes, the cycle continues, doesn't it? And if you're feeling like attacked by me saying that, or you're feeling kind of, oh, done that, please don't feel attacked. To me, it is a sign that you need help. You're getting burnt out, you're getting overwhelmed, and you need to start placing some boundaries and looking after yourself more. Because we don't do it. We love our jobs. We love the dogs. We sometimes are a bit too soft. We all are, because we are dog lovers, and we sometimes kind of let customers take advantage. And over time, that can be hard to scrape back. And therefore, our resentment comes out in things like social media posts, or kind of, you didn't brush your dog, or this is why your dog is matted. And we can't do it. We can't be disrespectful to our clients as much as deep down we sometimes feel it. If we want to whine about clients, that's where Facebook forums come in that are private, and you know how I feel about them. But if you want to whine, go and do it there where clients aren't looking at it. Everything on social media, everything marketing wise, should be about marketing yourself as a professional, as someone lovely, someone who the customers are like, yep, I want her. It should all be positive. And that's why if you have negative to say, watch where you're saying it. We shouldn't be disrespectful to our clients. They are the ones that pay the bills. And if there are things we want to say to them educational wise, let's educate, not lecture. Let's give it in the vibe of, we are part of a team. Can I help you with this? Did you know this? Did you know this happens? Did you know puppy coats thicken up at 8 months because of this? All of these things, let's have it with that vibe rather than, you left your puppy till 6 months and didn't get it groomed. Now you're surprised it doesn't behave. Do you know what I mean? There's that vibe sometimes. And yes, we all say it in our heads. Yes, we all feel it. But we cannot transmit that on our marketing. It will never, ever help with the image of our industry. If we want to elevate ourselves as being more professional, it has to start from us. It has to start from us. And the same way I wouldn't expect, again, let's go with the child's nursery metaphor. I wouldn't expect a child's nursery to come on social media and go, well, high school kids don't dribble down the front, and high school kids don't throw wooden blocks at each other, and high school kids don't cry and wet on the floor. And we do this in our marketing. We go, you don't pee on the floor at the hairdressers, and you don't bite your hairdresser, and you don't scratch your hairdresser. And I get it. I so get it. I get what you're saying, but we can't do that. It's so disrespectful to our clients. They are trusting their dogs in our care, and we are basically saying we resent that, we deserve more money. We chose to be dog groomers. Yes, we sometimes wonder why, but no, we chose to be dog groomers. We take it, it's part and parcel of the job is occasionally we get scratched, occasionally there's a wee on the floor, but we can't whinge at our clients for that. If that is making you resentful, then you need to be charging more or having more boundaries or transmitting your policies, like please take your dog for a walk before it's groomed, or even just improving your customer communication in the salon, saying, hi, do you know what? He keeps wetting every time he comes. Would you mind making sure he goes for a walk next time? And just communication. I know it's harder. I know we're not all people persons. We prefer the company of four-legged dogs, but it has to be done. If we're business owners, we sometimes have to kind of lay down what we need from our customers. It's all about teamwork, but the vibe in which we lay it down, that's really important. That's marketing, and it kind of goes into customer service and customer care. I will leave that there, but yeah, in 2025, please leave behind anything resentful or frustration on your social media. If you need to whine or whinge, go in your chosen Facebook forum and do it there, or in the academy we have our own private community, and that is where you can whine all you like and we will support you, but it means that you're not venting it on customers and therefore damaging the professional image of your business. If you would like to know more about marketing, in the Grooming Goddess Academy membership, we have 2 modules that cover it. We have social media marketing, which is released in month 3 for monthly members, or annual members get it instantly. And it is not about vanity metrics, I do apologise. It is more about the things you can communicate with your clients, how you can nurture them, educate them, make them feel valued, make them think you're freaking amazing and you are a no-brainer, how you can make your existing clients think you're just the best thing ever and educated and more professional than they think, and therefore willing to pay you more. Social media wise, it's not about the vanity metrics. If you want to become an influencer and all that kind of business, that's great, but let's get a nice stable business first. Because I promise you, 10,000 followers doesn't fill your trolley at Tesco. Money does. So let's get a stable business before you think about being a TikTok sensation. The other module we have is module 4, so released in month 4 or instantly for annual members, and that is on wider marketing. So that is on things like websites, Google listings, local networking, all kinds of different things. And we cover that in depth. We also, I'm not going to give you other tips here, sorry, you have to pay for it. But things like how to keep your Google listing front and center, how to keep your website nice and punchy. But again, these are tips that people pay me for, so I can't really share them. I do apologize. But yeah, that is marketing in the Grooming Goddess Academy. So if you are interested, we do open the doors to our priority waitlist on the 26th of December, that's Boxing Day, and to everyone else on the 28th of December. If you are interested, it is definitely worth joining the priority waitlist simply because you get that priority access, and that matters because we are closing to new members when we hit 400 or on January the 7th, whichever is soonest, which means there aren't that many spaces available. There are some, but there aren't lots and lots and lots and lots. So if you want in, we're growing gradually next year. We're not kind of letting people in willy-nilly. We're growing the academy nice and gradually so we can be there for people as they come in. We can support people. We can make sure everyone's on the right path. We can be in the community without stretching ourselves too thin as a team. So that's the membership. Also, if you are interested, last little plug. I've got to get these in here. No one sponsors from this. I've got to sponsor myself. It is the last chance to join at the £23 per month payment or £230 for the year. When we reopen later in the year, that price will have risen. So if you want to lock in that price for the lifetime of your membership, so £23 a month, then now is the time to join when the doors open just after Christmas. Right, I'm going to leave that there because I've done my sales pitch and that'll do. But yeah, that is marketing. The final episode of this podcast will be released on Boxing Day because it is such an important day when we're opening doors. So I shall see you then. Have an amazing Christmas. I know I'm going to speak to you on Boxing Day, but Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, just have an amazing time, ladies and gentlemen. If you are still grooming, I still am grooming. I know you still got dogs to count down. I know your staple diet is miniature heroes, but please stay healthy, drink lots of water, eat some fruit too, because if not, the minute you stop grooming, we all know what happens, you get ill. It happens every year. So please look after yourselves so you've got a nice healthy Christmas, and obviously so you're healthy enough to join on Boxing Day morning. I'll see you on Boxing Day. Have a great Christmas. Merry Christmas. Bye.